you haven't failed. It's all it takes, right? Go, go, go mindset. Yeah, that's not good. And again, it is totally okay not to be okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Nicole, and if you're not, thank you for coming back to my channel. So as you guys have probably noticed, I have not recorded in quite a hot minute, and that's kind of the path I want to take this video in today, because there's so many things that me not posting has kind of led me to realize, and I just kind of wanted to take you along for that journey and talk about what being in like a rut feels like, or in general junior year. I know a lot of my fellow juniors are kind of going through this burnout phase in their life, and I kind of just wanted to bring attention to that because it's such a prevalent kind of issue that so many teenagers face, that I want to just kind of relate to you guys, because I've been feeling it. I've been feeling it, let me tell you, no doubt. And I think it's super important to kind of address and kind of just realize that you guys are not alone. I feel like so many people are constantly just under the impression that, oh, it's just happening to me, and maybe I just can't take the stress. And I want to tell you that that is so not true. All of us are thinking, wow, how am I supposed to balance this and this and this? Because so many of us are trying to balance, you know, school and taking the SAT, ACT, perhaps you're, you know, doing that your junior year, right? Or even college apps. Some people even have a job, right? And there are just so many things, you know, extracurriculars that you have to kind of spread yourself out to, that you end up kind of spreading yourself out so thin that you can't take it anymore. And I kind of like to use the analogy of like dough. You at one point have to stop rolling it out because it's going to get so thin it's just going to break. And then you're not going to have your beautiful pie or cookie or whatever you're using dough for. I just kind of wanted to bring you guys along for this kind of talk and realization that it's okay not to be okay, because I think that's a super important topic that needs to be discussed, and I would love to discuss it with you guys. So if you guys would like to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, please do, and let's get right into this video. But it's okay not to be okay. I know that my fellow juniors and even seniors with college apps right now, I could just imagine all the stress you guys are going through, are kind of facing this stress and pressure from all the different aspects of your life, whether it's academic or social, or even from parents. Honestly, I know that there's a lot that, you know, teenagers, kids my age, are feeling. Like, I have not picked up my camera in, I'm sure you guys noticed, like 2 months, about to make it, what, 3? And it definitely has taken a toll on my mental health a little bit, and the fact of like, oh, why am I not, you know, disciplined enough to continue recording, or why am I just giving up so easily? And you guys know how much I love my YouTube channel, how much I absolutely love recording and in general showing my life, and it's definitely one of my biggest passions. So when I don't for a while, it kind of just grounds me in the sense that it's like, okay, wow, maybe I did need to take a break in some areas of my life, and it's showing by me not posting on my YouTube channel. Or, you know, I in general just sometimes need a break, and it's like my body needs it, but my brain doesn't exactly realize it. And that's when it starts kind of affecting me, because I start seeing certain areas of my life that I'm passionate about kind of shut down. I don't put enough like effort and love into things that used to make me smile and laugh before. And at the end of the day, like, it's okay. Like, a lot of the times we realize that we always have to be on this go, go, go mindset, when in general, it's okay not to be okay. I know guys, you can stop working. But in all seriousness, like, I've realized recently that I've been kind of spreading myself out a little too thin, in the sense that I'm putting my passion and love into one club, and then I realized, oh, I want to join this other club and this other club, and uh-oh, I still have, you know, my job and certain responsibilities in all my life. Like, for example, I currently work at Hollister, but I'm also studying for the ACT, and I kind of have to balance, you know, setting up tutor sessions for that whilst going to my job, and of course balancing schoolwork, because that's in and of itself a huge thing. And all the while I was just completely forgot about, you know, YouTube and something that I truly love and kind of express my emotions through. And there's so many outlets that I have that I haven't been kind of utilizing, that I just want to kind of use this video as a way of bringing my attention as well as your attention to the fact that sometimes even when we're all in this go-go mindset, we do have to ground ourselves and kind of realize that we do need to take a break, because at the end of the day, you can't give 100% if you're at 50. And I love by that quote because I love that quote, and I live by that quote because it's so accurate, honestly. Like, if you are going to a sport every single day and you're going to school and you're a junior like me, you're studying for the ACT, or you're a senior, sophomore, honestly anyone, and you're studying for the SAT, ACT, right? And you have all this that you're kind of juggling, it's so much to kind of understand that you need to take a break and just pause sometimes. And I'm completely a victim of this myself. Like, I understand that, you know, you constantly want to keep going and keep pushing, like, oh, I can take it. To a certain extent, you can definitely take it, and you know, it's super important to be strong, but at some point you do have to realize that you can't constantly push yourself when you've reached your max. And the whole point is to avoid that burnout feeling, because everyone's kind of saying all the time that, oh, it's inevitable that you're going to reach that burnout feeling, but is it truly inevitable, or are you just under that mindset that you have to keep going until you reach that? So I feel like it's just so important to kind of understand when in your life you need to take breaks. You have to kind of measure the pros and cons of things. I feel like I always love making pros and cons lists, and that it doesn't have to be official, like, okay, this gives me this, this gives me that. Like, you know, in my head I always just kind of say, is this bringing me more harm than it is love, or is it giving me more motivation than it's giving me, etc., right? So I think it's super important to ground yourself and understand that sometimes, although you want to kind of put so many things on your plate, you have to know, you know, your max. Otherwise, your body's gonna reach your max for you. All of us kind of want to know how to not face burnout, right? Like, when you're doing so much and you're just kind of like, okay, I need to take a break, but how do I take a break, blah, blah, blah. All these thoughts are kind of occurring in your head. You kind of just need to take a minute and breathe. Like, I know it's definitely easier said than done, and you know, for someone who kind of feels a lot of anxiety all the time, I definitely have to pause myself sometimes and just be like, it's gonna be okay. Like, I remember my English teacher last year told me that a lot of the thoughts of anxiety that we have are starting with the words what if, and we have to realize that the what if has not actually happened. So what's the point of stressing about it if it's not actually happened? And a lot of the times they're very kind of crazy reaches. What if, you know, this happens, and then fall in the middle of the hallway? Like, seriously, like, that's sometimes it's like, okay, like, I have a test, I'm super scared, what if I fail? But you haven't failed, and you're not even close to failing, and you've studied, you know the subject, or I'm sure you do. You know the stuff, and you just kind of have to have trust in yourself. And I know for a fact that I don't feel this way all the time, right? Like, that's even why I'm making this video, because a lot of the times I face that I'm not confident in myself, and a lot of my friends, you know, perceive me as confident, which I'm super glad that I portray that, and I do want to continue to portray that. And I'm sure a lot of you know that I love being positive, and, you know, humor is one of my many kind of passions. I love kind of, you know, making jokes, being in a fun environment, always laughing, always smiling. But of course, you know, the always smile, the always laughing friend also, you know, has their burnout days, and that is totally, like, okay. And I want to kind of emphasize how okay that is by saying that we're all human and we all face this. And at the end of the day, you know, it's just school, it's just work, it's just a sport, it's just, you know, whatever. But the whole point of it's just is that it's not going to matter 50 years from now. And obviously, you know, I'm not saying, you know, give up your future, blah, blah, blah. Nothing of that sort. And I think that's why a lot of us get stressed, because we're worrying about our future constantly. And I know, again, I'm a victim of this myself. I'm always worrying about my future. Oh, if I don't get into this school, or oh, if I don't pass the test, I won't get into the school, or blah, blah, blah. And all of this kind of sends me down that spiral again, and starts to kind of burn you out, because you're constantly trying to push yourself further than you can't be pushed. You can't be pushed to that extent, and that's okay, because again, you're human. You kind of just need to take a minute and, you know, like, that's it. That's all it takes, right? So I feel like it's super important, and a lot of us kind of step over that and don't realize how important it is, and that's not good, because then it's going to lead you to burnout. Acknowledge that you're in this position, and I think a lot of us tend to kind of skip over that part and say, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. But again, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be fine. Most of us are not fine all the time. Realize it and understand that I'm in it, but the most important part is, how do I get out of it? And I think taking that first step of acknowledging that you're in it is already kind of showing you your own maturity, and that you can move past this because you know you're already in it and you can move past it from there. I think once you've acknowledged that you're in this kind of predicament, you can start building, you know, your way out of it slowly, right? So some things that I like to do personally are kind of watching YouTube videos that are relaxing self-care days, right? Like a lot of the times I like to go on my Pinterest or again YouTube and search up creators that inspire me. So I think it's super important to, again, realize when you've reached your kind of max, or actually even understand what your max point is before you get there, because you don't want to reach this stage of burnout. So recently what happened to me was I kind of felt that I was approaching this point of burnout, and I kind of wanted to, like I said, ground myself in the moment before I kind of reached it, because, you know, it's the first most important step, right? So I realized, okay, where do my priorities lie? Am I focusing more on, you know, going to my job all the time, studying for, you know, the SAT all the time, school, blah, blah, right? YouTube, right? There's so many things that I want to kind of spread myself out to, but there's some things that I kind of had to take a second look at and realize maybe that's not the best for the position that I'm in my life right now. It is so okay. You don't want to overwork yourself. It's not gonna bring anyone to a good outcome, right? What I did recently was I called one of my friends that I thought kind of inspires me. So this person always, you know, eats healthy, right? And they have such good like studying habits that I want to kind of mimic. It kind of occurred to me, I was like, okay, so instead of trying to copy her every move, I want to kind of mirror her lifestyle. So instead of saying, oh, I'm not gonna let myself eat, you know, any sugar, blah, 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 because she doesn't eat any sugar, right? First of all, that's not true, because I'm only seeing a fraction of her life. She knows her full life, I don't. I only see the good parts of it, right? The ones that she wants to show. Okay, instead of not, you know, let's say instead of not eating any sugar, let's perhaps let me eat a bit more healthy sugar, a bit of a healthier alternative. She additionally always has these great study habits. So recently I called her up and I'm like, what do you do, right, for your studying habits, for blah, 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 blah. And she goes, okay, well, so starting with studying habits, I actually decided to delete TikTok. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're done here. It never honestly occurred to me to do that, because I never really realized that that could have been a contributing factor. So I offloaded the app and I took it away from my home screen. And let me tell you guys, I have not been on that app in like 3 weeks. You realize that, is TikTok more of a contributing factor or more of like a negative factor? And obviously from my deleting of it, it's clearly a negative factor. And I think you'll notice that, you know, you have freer time more. It's good to be bored sometimes, because it kind of makes you like realize and branch out to try new things. And I love that, because I found myself kind of doing things that I would have not done before. Do what kind of makes you happy, something that won't be draining of your energy. Like, for example, by that I mean, like, for me, I love doing skincare and, you know, listening to relaxing music, kind of having these self-care days. I also noticed I haven't got my nails done in quite a while, and they're looking a bit ratchet, I can't lie. So I'm gonna get my nails done. With the flow, right? Like, don't be afraid of change, because it's inevitable. It's gonna happen so many times in your life. I'm only 16, it's already happening so many times in my life. And if you're constantly afraid of change, then you're not gonna get anywhere, because you're not gonna be growing and you're not gonna be adapting to all these things, and you're kind of just gonna be inside this nutshell. So when you kind of do realize that change has happened and you're progressing from the change, then that's how you know you've kind of matured a bit more and your frontal lobe has developed. I love to listen to music, and I think for me in particular, I'm also a music teacher. Like, I play piano all the time. I teach piano. Recently I've been like, I kind of want to get back into the piano, right? Like, I feel like I don't play as much, right? So I've been practicing more by myself, just kind of learning my own new songs, and I love it. And I feel like it's such a great expression of feelings and emotions, especially after a long day. You kind of just want to sit down, just play your heart out. If you don't play, you just listen, like listen your heart out, right? Like on the way back from school, on the bus, or on the way there. One of my biggest tips is actually just putting in your earbuds, your AirPods, right? And just listen to something that kind of uplifts you, right? Like typically what I do is like I listen to something that uplifts me on the way there, and so I can get more excited to go to school, kind of wake myself up a little bit. And then on the way back, I kind of listen to something a little bit more chilling to kind of get me back into like the, all right, like I can calm down now. It's okay. It's been a long day, right? You know, you do what works for you, right? But in general, I found that it's kind of made me a little bit happier when I listen to music. But yeah. So in general, if you have things that you want to do, right, and you don't know how to do them, just take them one step at a time, you know? At the end of the day, you're gonna get so stressed if you just kind of onboard it all on your plate all at once. So just grab yourself for a second, say, why am I doing this? And is this bringing me more, you know, love and motivation and, you know, all things positive? Or is it kind of bringing you down, draining you, taking the time out of your energy, not giving as much back to you, right? In general, when you're joining new things, kind of take into account that process, because otherwise, you know, if it does end up bringing you more harm, you kind of want to know that from the start so that you don't end up putting so much of your time into it. Another thing that I like to do is, you know, give yourself a reward almost. Like at the end of every Friday, what I like to do is kind of, you know, stop by the cafeteria and get like a cookie. It kind of gives you something to look forward to every single week. And, you know, if you have something to look forward to, obviously you're not going to be as much of a burnout, right? Our favorite word. Ultimately, make sure to surround yourself by the people who love you, whether that's family, friends. Make sure your friends are, you know, bringing in more positivity than negativity in your life, because it's the way it should be, right? I know a lot of us struggle with making friendships that last and that you know are true and not fake. At the end of the day, once you kind of discover who is bringing more positivity than negativity in your life, you're gonna grow so much more from that, and that's, you know, the biggest lesson at the end of the day. So that was my all in all in how to get out of a burnout, how to get out of a rut, you know, how your year's going, right? A lot of us face this, and it's important not to make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post a brand new video. If you guys have any advice of your own, please give it to me, because I'm still learning, I'm still growing in how to get out of my own burnouts. But these are just kind of the little pieces of advice that I've accumulated, and I've noticed that they've worked for me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have you guys so much.